Hello everyone, so today I'm going to be going over my 2025 planner system as well as the books that I'm using for memory keeping and also the notebooks that I'm using for other purposes. So I'm going to be sharing a lot today, so buckle up and maybe get a drink or something. I have my coffee right here. So it's going to be a somewhat long video. But I wanted to be comprehensive and just talk about everything in one video since I haven't been very good with making these YouTube videos, so I just want all the information in one place. I quite like that I am doing this video 3 months after the year has started because I'm actually going to be able to show you exactly how I'm using it, and I'm going to be doing a quick flip of my main planners on the inside so you can see how I'm using them, even though the way I'm using it hasn't really changed since I've launched this planner 2 years ago. But that will be coming up. But first, I just want to kind of go over the main system that I'm using, and then I'll go into the books a little bit to just talk a little bit more about them in detail. Can't show you everything, but I will try to be as detailed as possible about how I'm using them. And if you guys have any questions, please leave a comment down below and I'll try my best to get to all the comments in a timely manner. So for my planner, I used to be using only one planner, which is the B6 Common Planner. But starting from last year, halfway into the year, I started adding a daily planner into my system, which is this one. This is dated. We also have undated version. So the undated version was the one that I was using last year to experiment, and I really loved it. So this year I knew that I was going to have this combo of B6 Common Planner, vertical, of course. Vertical, I love vertical, so that's the one I chose. I chose the green, gold, of course, and then for the daily planner there was only one color, so I'm using the A5 daily planner, like that. So these two I'm using together. I'm going to just quickly go through everything else and then I'm going to come back to it, and I will do a flip of this planner every single page so you can see how I'm using that. This one I can show you select pages just to kind of give you an idea of like how I'm using it, and I'm also going to be showing you a snippet of how I used it last year just to give you some more ideas of like how I normally use it. And these two I'm using as my memory keeping planners, journals, the books, whatever you want to call it. So the top one is a 5-year diary. It's A5 size. I started using this last year, so this is halfway filled all the way to July something. I do have the photos for the rest of the year, but I need to play some catch up, and maybe I might do just like a little bit at a time. This year I've been super on top of the photos, so I am like completely up to date with all of my photos for the memory keeping. So I'm just, because I learned from my lesson last year, just don't let it slide. Just keep on be consistent. So this is basically, I don't want to show like the photos of my kids, I don't know, just because it's I don't want them to like, they can't consent to that, so I just don't want to show the photos, but I can just like kind of do this so you can sort of see. Basically what I do is I basically just pick one photo per day of my kids together. I have 2 kids, so I try to find a photo of them together and I stick it in. And last year I put one photo up there, and then this year I put another photo there. So if you look at this, I said I wasn't going to go into so much detail at the beginning, but there are lines, but there are no like designated places to put the ears, so you can basically go free and wild however you want to with these pages. So that's what I'm doing, and I've just been loving seeing like how much they've grown over the period of 1 year. Even my older kid, I felt like there was not so much change, but then when I look at the photos, it's like, you can definitely see that he's grown so much. So that's how I'm using this 5-year diary, and it does say 5-year diary in the front, but who knows how long I'll be using this. It could be 3 years, 4 years. It just really depends on like how much room I have left on each page. So that's the 5-year diary. And then this one is the B5 size vertical compact common planner, and this is in the green forest color cover with gold edges. I choose gold edges for everything because that's why I make these planners. But of course, they're also available in the exact same color but without the gold edging, so just white edging if that's what you like. So this is a not 5 year. This is what I'm using for memory keeping this year. So what that means is basically I just kind of go through my camera every Monday, my camera as in my phone, every Monday, and then I just pick out the photos, archive them in a folder for each day, and then I drag them into an InDesign file and print them out and then cut them using my Silhouette. I really don't like those mini portable printers, photo printers. The papers are super thick, they're super expensive, the quality is terrible. So I just use my inkjet and I use the sticker paper from Online Labels. I'm gonna try to remember to leave the links down below, but if you have any questions about like what I'm using, just leave a comment down below and I'll try to get to it. So I find that to be so much better. Like you can see, it's just like it prints really nicely. Let me see if I can show you like an example of like how horrible. So for example, this is the Canon selfie on the bottom right here. So you can see my kid's legs are like basically red. And over here is my inkjet, and it looks so much more natural. So that's the difference. And the sticker paper up top is much thinner too compared to the photo paper, so I really like it. And it's also much cheaper as well, so it's like win-win. And especially when you're printing a lot of photos, it's just like it's such a hassle to use the selfie, even though those mini printers, even though it feels like it would be more convenient, but it's really not, because actually it takes a long time for the photos to print out. And you have to like wait so long, whereas like the inkjet just like prints out a whole sheet of paper, and I get 9 pictures on every sheet, and it's just like super fast. And I just use a Silhouette portrait to cut out this pictures. I actually recently did a story just going in detail of like how I organize it. If you guys are interested, I can do a video on it, but I think I already made a video on YouTube for back when I used to use Hobonichi Kaizen for the same purposes, so you can go check that out. But if you guys are interested, I can definitely make a video on that. But yeah, if you follow me on Instagram, I started posting more stories just to kind of go behind the scenes a little bit to show you like what my day's like, and then you know what I'm working on, and what my planner situation is. So if you want to see more of that, you can follow me on Instagram, and I do try to give you guys tips throughout the day, you know, if I get to it. So this is the B5 compact, like I said, and I'm just putting the pictures out weekly, and I get to write a little snippet of like what actually happened, and then explaining the photos a little bit. I love doing this because my kids love flipping through them. Like even my toddler, he's like very into it, and he knows like it's his photo, and then he like thinks it's hilarious. My older kid loves looking at the photos too, and it's just like such a tactile way of looking at the memories. And I also want them to kind of get into this habit of, you know, recording your life, and there's a lot of power in that, so I do want them to get into the habit of that. And this is a nice transition, but like let me just talk about one more thing. So obviously a lot of the times I don't get to fit all the photos on one, you know, weekly spread. That's when I use the blank pages in the back. And if you guys are familiar with the Common Planner, you know that there are a lot of blank pages in the back. This version is the compact, so it's much thinner than, say, you know, my full year version. They're both full year, but this one has 368 pages of blank pages in the back, versus this one only has 120. But for, you know, the memory keeping purposes, this was perfect because, you know, I'm not going to have that many photos to fill up 368 pages. So this was perfect. And basically all of the spillover photos I just put in the back, which has been working out great. And I chose this size because, as you can see, it doesn't bulk up as much because it's just like so big. So like if this was a smaller book, it would feel like it's bulking up much more than this one, because I don't know, just because of the size, it's not feeling like it's bulking up as much. I hope that makes sense. So for memory keeping, I'm using the B5 and the 5-year diary. So like that. And by the way, when you get the 5-year diary from our shop, it automatically comes with a stamp bundle. So you get this, I don't think I have it with me, unfortunately, but we give out this acrylic, super cute, like acrylic, cylindrical acrylic piece, and then you just stick the ear stamp onto the acrylic, and then you can just very easily use it as a stamp. So you don't even need anything else. You don't need to buy anything else. I mean, you can use an ink pad, but you can also use marker instead. So you just use marker to color the stamp, and you can just use that as a stamp pad instead of getting an actual stamp pad. Yeah, and that just makes it super convenient for you. Yeah, so then you can stamp the ears here if you want to. Or you can just use it as a undated daily planner too, if that's what you're into. Okay, so that's the memory keeping planners. And speaking of getting the kids into a habit of recording and, you know, documenting their day, I'm going to show you something super cute. So this is my son's planner. This is a B5 vertical in the, you know, thicker version. So you can see that, oops, sorry about that. So you can see that this one is a compact version. This is the like full-on version. This one has much more blank pages in the back. This has almost three times as much blank pages as this one. But you know, they both have a full year worth of planner pages in the front. So I'll show you, this is my son's planner. And this is really just like, it was one of the like defective planner. It has some like creases in the back, so I thought it would just be fun for him to use it, because he sees me using planners all the time. So you know, so here I'm just like writing some highlights. Of course I'm working with him on it, so you know, because like he wouldn't know what to do. So this one, we're like just kind of, I ask him, what did you do today? And then he'll say something and I'll write it down. And then here, like he wanted to use these stickers, so I was showing him, oh, this is how you should do it. And then I started out kind of writing about his day like this. And then because I'm doing doodling in my planner too, so I wanted to do the same for him, and he loves it. He loves seeing me draw, and he gets really inspired. He wants to draw too, and this is just like super fun. I'm just like documenting his day. He's doing an experiment here, him with his brother, and I write a little bit of a snippet here. February was a wash for us. Everybody was sick, so March we're going to go back to doing this. It's super cute. And then the back section where he knows, like where there's no printing, no dates, that's where he can just do whatever he wants. So he just draws. This is not all of his drawings, but sometimes he likes to draw in here. And I love his drawings, and I make him write the date next to it too. And I just love his drawings. I love the colors. Like he's such a little artist. Like he loves, when I say artist, I mean he loves doing art, like a lot of kids. I don't mean that he's like so good at drawing or anything, but I love his drawings. So he did this like world map. He's obsessed with maps, world map, US map. He just like completely obsessed with that. So I told him he should draw the world map, so he did that. And I'm thinking that this, because we homeschool and we're going to start nature journaling, I thought this would be the perfect place to do it. And it would be sort of like his Commonplace notebook, and he can just like do whatever he wants to throughout. And you know, we had these birds come to our balcony in January, and then they came back again in February. So he's been super into that. He wanted to make a bird feeder for them, and you know, I bought a bird book so we can like kind of see which bird it was. So I think we're gonna start with that, and maybe I can draw the outline and have him color it in, and just like learn about nature that way. So that's what I'm thinking for this book. It's super cute. He put the stickers there from Christmas. He loves it, and he's really proud of this book. So I wanted to show you guys that. Now, so before I do a flip of these, I just want to kind of quickly go over other stuff I'm using. Like I mentioned, we homeschool, so I am using the academic planner for 2024-2025 as our homeschool planner. And so we are with my older son, we are in the kindergarten year. He actually just finished, he's reading and math for kindergarten super early because he's been working so diligently. Like he's absolutely insane. Like his work ethic is crazy. So I have to be like, are you sure you want to do this right now? And then he's like, yeah. He would be like waking up from a nap, and then he'll say, I want to do a math sheet. And I'm like, are you joking right now? And then he'll be like, no, I want to do a math sheet right now. And then so that's what we're doing. And so I mentioned that we're in kindergarten year because this is the year I wanted to kind of experiment with different curriculums and also figure out exactly how I wanted to use this academic planner. So I say academic planner, but this is really just a July start to June ending common planner. There's no difference between this book and our regular common planner, except for the fact that this goes from July to June, and that serves like the the student teacher community, homeschooling community, because obviously academic year runs a little bit different from regular calendar year. So that's the book that we're using, and we will be coming up with the we'll be coming out with the 2025-2026 academic planners in April. So stay tuned for that. We're going to start making announcements, going over exactly what sizes are available, layouts and such. So stay tuned for that and follow us on Instagram if you want to see more of that. So I wanted to just like quickly show you guys, I guess, even though I said I wasn't going to go into details, but these are going to be quick. So basically, I'm still like working out exactly how I want to use it. And this is like the way that I would recommend you guys to do too if you don't know where to start, because like you would plan for something, but then it doesn't work out that way. So just like go freely, and then just don't be afraid of changes that you make throughout the year. And these planners are made for flexibility, so you can basically change it into anything you want. So in the quarterly section, I'm actually just kind of writing down the key milestones. Like, so for example, if we finish reading a book, we learned a key concept, and I will try to write them here. The first pages I wanted to just write like, which books that we love to read and such. Monthly is just like a more detailed description of like what we did each day. And then the weekly section, I'm just like, there has been some changes, and I'll do a separate video for this, so I don't like, make this a whole like homeschool planner video. But this is like our typical week, and I'm just writing down exactly what we did. It's separate by section of like reading, math, extracurricular activities up top, and then in the back section, I write out like mission statements for homeschooling, like why we homeschool and such. Some inspirational quotes, observations from my kids, and this is also where I intend to do pre-reading notes in the back. So that's my homeschool planner, and I'll definitely do something else talking about that in more detail. Then, okay, I'm definitely going to be leaving timestamps on the bottom, so you guys can skip through all of these. So last year I actually used a planner as my study journal, but it was just a little bit hard to keep up with because obviously it was dated, and I would have loved to be staying on top of that, but given my schedule with a little toddler, not a toddler, infant, it was just mad. It was just maddening. So this year I wanted to be kinder to myself, and that was my whole intention this year, to be focusing on being consistent rather than perfect. And to do that, I want to make my you know, bar a little bit lower so that, you know, it's easier to meet that bar, if that makes sense. So I am just using a regular notebook from our shop. This has page numbers. It's 520 pages, Atome River paper. And I'm using this to basically as a commonplace notebook for studying. And there are all these different topics that I'm interested in. So I'm just like reading books on those subjects. And this is about Chinese Cultural Revolution. And that's a topic that I'm super interested in, but when I read about it, I get so mad. So it's like hard for me to pick up the book because I know I'm just gonna get really angry. But I'm also really interested in it. And I thought, okay, let me just switch to something else that's a little bit more easier to read, as in like I won't get so mad. So on the same kind of topic, I'm reading The Gate of the Heavenly Peace, which is still really intense. Like I literally hear this intense music in my head as I'm reading this because so many people died. It's just like every other page, like I feel like someone is dying. It's obviously nonfiction, so it's like even more like harder to read, to know that so many people sacrifice their life to, you know, fight for, you know, their vision and their ideal. So it is still really hard to read, but much better than the Cultural Revolution because I just get so angry reading that. So now I'm reading this. I'm getting like so much more. I just wanted to mention that because I'm finally kind of getting into a groove of like, you know, writing down notes. I love it. I love reading this. I really enjoy, you know, sitting down with this notebook. And as I'm reading through the pages, like if I read 2 pages, I'll try to like summarize in my words, like in bullet points, like what happened, and just really engage with the book. And I really like this book so far. I started it a while ago. I didn't get to finish it because, again, I just thought it was so intense because people were dying like left and right. It's really interesting but tough to read. So that's what I'm using as my study book. Really, really enjoy it. It's just like my fun study time, time to myself. So that's what I'm using. Then what else do I have? Okay, so I wanted to show you guys. So this one I started using last year. This is now going into just notebooks that I'm using. So this is a B6 Slim notebook, and I wrote this because I didn't really know what to use this for, and then I got this inspiration to start using it to document my design process. So I started using this as a notebook to kind of write out my ideas for the collections that I'm designing for Sterling Ink. So I'm writing out some, doing some sketches, writing out what the various things I want to do. So I sketch these out, and then I like work on the composition. Like I was looking into the furniture, type of furniture that I'm using on the patio scene. I mean, I'm trying to do the floor pattern. You guys know which one it is. It's for the October collection. And then, yeah, so this one was the April collection, the bunny scene. So I had to write it out, and yeah, this is just basically a place where I just write down my ideas. It's not pretty, it's not, you know, clean or anything, but I love it, and I just want to have a little book documenting like my thoughts for the planners and my thoughts for the collections. And it's much easier for me to design once I kind of write down what I want to do. Sometimes the schedule is so crazy that I don't get to actually write anything. I just have to like directly work on the drawings, but it's always a little bit difficult. Now then, I bring a little passport notebook with me. This is a thinner one, and I also keep it next to my bed. This just kind of follows me around, and like this is just a place to write whatever. Like I need to have paper with me all the time, so this is just nice and convenient, super tiny to carry around. Then I'm using an A5 Slim notebook as my kind of literature commonplacing book. So I'm writing down like some quotes that I'm coming across through my reading. I haven't been super on top of it because honestly, the last quarter was just so crazy. Like my life is generally pretty crazy. Now I hope we're slowing down a little bit so that I can like get back into this. And now that I have my desk set up, hopefully I can do stuff, you know, work on this more. I am rereading Swan's Way. This is like one of my all-time favorite books. I love it so much, like so much. Every time I read it, I'm just like in awe. And I'm doing this scribing project. I'm not writing down everything, but just like the highlights that I liked. This is our lined notebook. I think we're sold out. We might have a few left, but this is our lined notebook with page numbers, and I just pre-decorated it with some pictures, some stickers. These are all of these are our stickers, and I've just been, this is like my peaceful time, and I just absolutely love doing this. It's like meditation, and this man is an artist with his words, and it's just such a good book. Okay, so that's that. I am still using a personal ring binder. This is what I call my brain, and so the way I describe this is these are just like capturing information as it happens. And then if it's something that needs to be worthwhile to be kept, and so that I can get back to it, then that gets moved in here. This is split up into various sections of my life. So it has my kids, it has my work, it has my personal growth, things like that. And they just basically get archived here if it's an important piece of information. And there's no special inserts here. It's just lined paper and also grid inserts. And maybe one day I'll do a little flip of this, but it has a lot of the kind of more personal things in it, so it's hard to share this. But yeah, I'm still using this. So this is really kind of my main kind of three. It used to be just these two, and now I basically added this one on the bottom. The last thing I wanted to show you before I do the flip, I'm so sorry, now it's like 30 minutes and I'm just getting to the flip, but I promise I'm getting there. So this year I wanted to do more sketches, and just like relax and not worry about what people think, and just practice my skills in drawing. And I've just been really enjoying this. So these are the drawings I've done so far. I started from here, 1 2 3 4. That was the order I drew them. Yeah, I've just been really enjoying this. This is my therapy. I love it. Can't wait to fill this up and show you guys. Now let me get to the flip of my planners. Okay, so this is, just to start, this cover is from Vanderspack. I'm going to try to leave a link down below, but you guys all know who they are. So Vanderspack, this is the JL Brown. It's nice, and I mean, just, you guys all know Vanderspack. There's no more to be said. It's really high quality. You can customize it however you want to. It can get very expensive, so but the quality is definitely top notch. And Petra, the owner, I believe she's the owner or daughter of the owner, she is so on top of customer service, and I really enjoy ordering through them. So far, every planner I've ordered from there has been, planner cover I've ordered from there has been top notch. So yeah, this is JL Brown. So this is one planner. On the left, I don't really decorate my pockets. I do want to get into that, but just haven't really been into it. So this is the leftover stickers from April. I just decorated the April pages from in my planner because I got super excited. I love the April collection so much. So much. It's Wonderland themed. So you guys know, you can see it has the checkerboard, poker, cards, pocket watch, bunnies. Just, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. It's so beautiful. So this is my planner. These two stickers are the they're called torn tape stickers. It's a new product that I released this year, starting from the January collection. Every collection comes with a full sheet of random tape design, like torn tape design. So the thought behind that was that you don't have to worry about which washi tape to pick to go with the collection. It's already kind of curated for you. And I used to decorate the cover. I love how this turned out. Absolutely love it. It's really nice. So B6 is the size I'm using. This is a new spread for 2025. It's the full yearly tracker spread. I am using this to track my goals. And this is just a place for me to check in, basically. So if I did it, I just draw a circle there. And I took out my highlighters and I selected these 6 colors. And on top, I just wrote what the color is and what it represents. So this first one is drawing, workout, study, reading, and one study, that's Japanese, and then writing. So these are the 6 things that I wanted to kind of stay on top of. Obviously, some are more prioritized compared to the other ones. This year, I wanted to focus more on keeping the bar low and make it easier to meet the goal for the day, which is just to check in. So for example, workout, even if I at the beginning of the year, I just focused on doing 5 minutes a day, no more. I promised myself, as long as I do 5 minutes of workout, I can check in. And that encourages me to do it because I just think, okay, I have 5 minutes. 5 minutes is gonna zoom by and I can do this. And that's been really working. And then that increases to 10 minutes and then 15 minutes. So that's how I'm approaching goals this year, because I just want to be nicer to myself and know that my job is very demanding. Being a mom of 2, homeschooling, and being being in the creative job, like it's very hard. So I want to be kinder to myself, and these are just like the nice to haves, not must have. So I want to keep the bar low. And then what I basically did was at the beginning of the year, I just focused on doing 1 or 2 of the 6, and then just make that into a habit, and then start picking up another one, and then add more onto it. The goal is to form a habit instead of just trying to do all of them all the time. And that's fine. So even if I start to pick up one of the habits, like starting from middle of the year, that's completely fine. February was a wipe because we got sick, and which is like completely disrupted. Every February, our family all gets sick, and just like it gets into, you know, my schedule for work, and then I have to work extra hard later to make up for it, and it's basically just trying to survive. So that was fine, but I picked it back up a little bit, and I'm back on track, sort of, in March. So this is a quarterly section, and I'm splitting it into 2 sections, so the left and the right half. The left half, I'm focusing on this is basically the mission statement for the month. So let me see if I can read one of these. So for example, January, I wrote that this month is about starting small and not scaring myself away when it comes to those new habits I'm trying to form. So you can get a sense of like what that's like. So I'm just like talking to myself like, hey, this is kind of what I want this month to be like. And then at the end of the month, I write a little reflection. And over here, I am using this as a place to write 1 line a day. Not every day gets a line because, you know, life happens. I feel like every day blends into the next day. And sometimes I'm like, whoa, how many days have passed just now? But then, you know, when there's like special moments, then I go back and then write a line just to kind of really celebrate those little moments and come back to it and take a look. So I pre-decorated April here. Now the monthly section. So before I added this planner into it, this used to be a place where I kind of jam pack information. This was a place to pre-plan and also back plan and also like put in appointments. So it used to be like super filled out. But now that I'm using this, this is where I put all the messy like future planning stuff in. So this becomes just sort of like writing down like the key moments, appointments, you know, things like that, things I want to remind myself. But it's not super busy. February, like I said, a bit barely survived, so it's a bit empty. March just started, so it's quite empty too. So I decorated this, obviously. April. By the way, if you want to see how I decorate these pages, I post monthly decorate with me's. So up to the February one is up on this YouTube channel, so go check that out. And you can see how I used the entire collection. So this is April. I absolutely love it. Okay, now let's go into the month, the weekly. This is my favorite. So this year I'm doing something a little bit differently. I wanted to do more of these like lettering, just to call out like the highlights. It's just like easier to see visually. And also I'm drawing little doodles on my kids to kind of capture those little moments. And most of these are like just like things that happen at home, just like when we have quiet moments, where I can actually take a photo and I capture like funny moments, things like that. So I just want to like draw them, and it's just like when I draw it, it's a much different vibe than just like pasting a photo. It's like I feel so much more connection to it, and it's just like it brings me so much joy. And over here I wrote just another week, because I feel like oftentimes we put so much emphasis on like starting the new year with like new attitude, that this is new me. But I think it's also important to just realize that every day we can start new, you know. So this I wanted to not put too much pressure, and just know that let's focus on the consistency, not being consistent, rather than, you know, hey, let's start strong like January 1st. So I wrote just another week, just to remind myself, like, you know, calm down, it's okay. Yep. And this is again my kids' doodles. I love these drawings. Like it's like it snowed and they were playing in the snow, and it's like, you know, at the end of the year when I flip through this, I'm gonna know exactly what happened here. I know exactly what he was trying to do there. And it's just like, he's so funny. And I do write a little snippet of like what happened with the date. So what I've been doing is, I actually, if you haven't noticed, I'm changing up the spread from page to page. So this planner normally just has vertical layout like this. And the way I use my vertical layout is like this. I don't use the timeline at all. And a lot of our customers who used this planner do not use the timeline, but it is there if you want to use it that way. And the print is very light, so you can write over it. And as you can see, you barely notice the timeline once I start writing on it. That's a question I get a lot. So it's like, oh, I like the vertical layout, but I don't use the timeline, so what should I do? This is what you can do. You can do so much with it. The possibilities are endless. So for this page, I just use the top for my to-do list, and then the bottom is just like a place to write down weekly to-dos and things that I want to kind of write down for the week instead of repeating it every single day. Over here, I changed the layout using our date sampler sticker, so you can see it's the same exact font, and it's a sticker sheet that you can get. And then what I did was I had the verticals stack up on the left side, and then the right side is just a blank sheet of paper. So let me show you. This is probably easier to see. So this is April. I did it in the same way. So on the left is vertical layout, and then on the right is just a blank piece of paper. So I like doing this. I started doing this in 2023 when I launched this planner. It's just super fun to be able to switch things up. It's just like super organic. I love using it. It's like really fun, and it just adds something more interesting to the planner. So now this is, again, I'm using the top as a place to write down just like key to-dos and important things. Doodles, of course, key moments. Wish list. I started doing this wish list versus this week. So wish list is when I write down stuff I want to get done that week, like, or things that would make me happy, things I look forward to. This week is a place to kind of just quickly write down like a snippet of like the highlights of the week. And I started doing that, I think, yeah, from 2023 too, just like recapping the week, because, you know, like I said, every day kind of blends into each other, and it's like, what did I even do this week? What happened this week? It's just like a nice way to kind of just read this to see, hey, this is actually what happened. These are the small moments, small wins. And then in the middle, I just sometimes use it for to-do list, sometimes for, I think this one, I wrote all the stuff I want to do if I, you know, had forever to, like, you know, all the stuff I want to do. Oh, what did I write? All the stuff I want to do all the time. This is a horizontal layout that I made up, so I can show you what that looks like. So it would look like this if there was no writing, so you can see better here. Yeah, so I just, again, used the stickers, and I made this horizontal layout. It was super, super quick. And again, doodles, oh my gosh, so cute. They are the cutest. Again, wish list and this week. And these I just used Tombow markers to write. February was really crazy, so I didn't get to color any of the doodles. Oh, for super, super fun thing is that January 3rd, I think, there were 3 birds that came to visit us on our balcony. And I took a photo, I thought that was cool, and I just decided to draw them here. Then, right before we went home vacation, so my son asked them when they came, he asked them, are you guys going to come back? And of course the birds didn't answer. And then on January 27th, the 3 birds came back, and I took a photo from like another angle. And I just, like, you know, stuff like that, if I didn't draw it, I wouldn't have remembered, you know. But now I remember, like, that's super, super cute. So then February was crazy. We went on a mini vacation. We came back and then everybody got sick, and I just wrote a note for future, like, you know, February everybody gets sick, so just be aware. You know, there's no to-do list or anything. I just used the space to write a note for myself, and you can do that. This again kind of empty because, you know, crazy week. And here, helmets. They wanted to wear the same helmet. It's my older son's, and he didn't want to wear it. And then my younger son found it, and he loves it, so he started wearing it. And of course now my older son wants to wear it too, because that's just how it works. And then this was the last week of the February. And the row Sterling is nailing the 50 states, right? Like he was starting to like be really good at it, and now he can name all of them just on a blank map, which is just like incredible. I don't even know which state is which state. So he's teaching me. This is this week. Yeah, so it's still ongoing, so I didn't finish yet. Right now it's March 8th, so I gotta plan out the day. Yeah, so I pre-decorated these pages. I switch up the layout, like you can see, so they're not always vertical. And then I pre-decorated April. So now I'm going to show you my daily pages. So January, I pre-decorate about 20 pages per month, and I started to decorate more pages because I realized that however many pages I pre-decorate, I just fill them. I'm able to fill them out if they're decorated. So I just, you know, decided to just do 30 pages for 30 days. I don't use a page per day, but I do end up using up all the pages. Some days I could use like 8 pages a day for some days. So this year I'm using the back solely for brain dump and journaling purposes, but like brain dump in this way where I am just writing out word, you know, in sentences, But last year in my previous year's planner, I actually split up the back into 2 sections, where the front section was journals and the back section was brain dump. And then I realized that I was kind of limiting myself, which is why I added this one, where I would do more of the brain dumping and just scribbling and future planning here. And this is more for archival purposes. So, but then I'll show you, like, I still feel like it's important to have a little section for brain dump in the back, because sometimes I feel like, oh, but where do I write it? Like, I don't have this planner with me. I don't want to get into another planner. I just want to like write it down right now. So I did dedicate a small tiny section in the back for just those scenarios. So this is my journal pages. I'm just gonna quickly go through it. We roasted some chestnuts. It was really nice. Did some doodling of my kid and my husband. So you can see how I decorated this on YouTube. I filmed it. I've been loving this like layering. So I cut the planner page in half to create this, and I just really like it. It's very nice. And it's really nice to look at, but it also makes it really fun to journal, because it's like, ooh, like I get to this page and it's like, ooh, I get to open this and write something and then close it. It's just more interactive and fun. So like that. So yeah, that was the last page. February, I love this collection. So the first month's collection was Artist of My Life. So the idea is that we are the artists of our life, and we can, you know, make it however we want to. We are able to make our vision come true because we're the artists. You just gotta work towards it. So February, I love this theme, of course. I've been trying to do this theme for so long. It's supposed to be this like beaded embroidery, and see this bird is like a beaded brooch, and you can see the sequins here. I had to draw that, and it's just like, it was really, really hard to draw that. But I'm so happy I was able to make that happen. Love the tea set. That's my favorite tea set. Yeah, so these are the pages here. In here, I think I was journaling about creating a future book and like a me book. And I think those two can be one book. The idea of future book is basically just me journaling my future as I envision it, if that makes sense. And me book is like just journaling about who I am. Like, do I even know who I am? What do I like? What's the, you know, what kind of books do I like? Who do I like to hang out with? What kind of person do I want to hang out with? What kind of person do I want to be? Am I that person yet? And stuff like that. So this is March. And I think those two can be in one book. It's just like, it's all about like figuring out what is it that we want. Because, you know, a few years ago in 2018, I was pregnant with my son, and I tried to, it was the first time I actually sat down and wrote, you know, what do I want? And it was actually really different from what I thought I wanted. So that was eye-opening. And then I ended up starting this company, and it's been like the best ever. I'm really living my dream right now. But I also want to figure out, like, so what's next? Like, what's happening in the next 10 years? Because now we're already in the next 5 years for when I wrote about it 5 years ago. No, now 7 years ago. So see, I got to think about what's happening in the next 10 years. So that's my future book. So here is what I'm talking about. This is 329, I think. I can't see. My eyesight is not very good. So, and I'm kind of far away from the book. So this is a new sticker for April. So it basically comes as a frame. Like this. Oof. It's like this. And it's clear. Ooh, it's clear, you can see. It's clear, but the print is very crisp. You can see that. So the idea behind this is that you can use it as a big sticker for creating like a cover for whatever you're doing. And it doesn't have to be tied to a month, because we do have these freebies that goes out every month. So for example, April, we have this, but this always comes with the calendar. So I thought, you know, it would be nice to have something that's not tied to the month, and you can use it for any month or any purposes you want to. So here I'm just showing you an example of like how I used it, and I just like stuck it on the paper. I used the one of those torn tape stickers that I in our shop for April. Then I just cut out, like ripped out a piece of paper from our loose leaf inserts, and I just hand wrote April brain dump, and this is where I'm going to brain dump for April if I need to. So that's gonna be my little section of brain dump in the back. So that's how I'm using this planner, and this is the planner that I'm going to be archiving on the shelf, line them up, you know, year after year. And this is the planner that's really the workhorse for when it comes to my work and what I do on day-to-day basis. So I can't show you everything, but I will show you a couple pages just to give you an idea of like how I'm using this. So this is the daily planner from last year, so I can show you like kind of how I use it. These are the deco tabs. They're new for this year. I just put them on here to kind of test out what they look like. I love how these look. They're so cute. I wanted these type of tabs, but I don't know, like I've never seen them, so I wanted to create them. I thought it would be so cute to have a whole lot of them that kind of goes with the different collections. And of course you can have them like separate from the collections, but I just thought they would be so cute. And here I have the February one. I already used one, and this is another example. So you would get this sort of like die cut tab. So excited to use that. So this is the undated version that I was using last year, and I'll show you an example. So this is like a really neat page, so I wanted to show you that. This is one way I use it. Of course, I don't go this crazy every single day. I did this at a moment when I was very frustrated with how the time was passing. Like at the end of the day, I'm like, what did I even do? I was so busy today, and I feel like I have nothing to show for. So I was getting really, really frustrated for like a couple months. And so I decided to actually track what I do from like in half-hour increments, and I color coded them based on like how I set up my color code for that year. And I labeled my, you know, highlighters to say like what was what, so to make it easy. But basically on the left hand side we have, you know, timeline. So I use that as a place to track exactly what I did, so I can see, oh yeah, that's green, so that was like I was drawing. Purple was like, I think purple was like when I took care of the kids. So I can visually see, okay, that's what I did. And actually, let me see if I can find that. So last year at the beginning, I was tracking my time like this. And this was so helpful, and I love doing this. But then, as you can see, my time became a little bit more regular, and I was able to grasp like kind of what I do from day to day. And I felt like I was doing pretty well, so I stopped doing it. But you know, this was just very insightful into like how I actually spend my time. Then that was in January. But then I felt like I was losing it a little bit again, and I felt like I needed to do it again. And I tried to do it here a little bit so I can show you. So I started tracking my time a little bit like that. And then I sort of like got a hold of myself again. And that was in, when was that? That was in May. But then in July, as you can see, I was like frustrated again. Like, what am I spending my time on? So I did this again, and it was just, I want to say like the difference here is that before I felt like I needed to, this was only for the purpose of tracking my time. And it really just felt like, oh, I had to take out this book to track my time. Whereas this kind of served two purposes. One was to track my time, as well as tracking the stuff, the ideas that I had, the things I were learning. Like if I happen to be watching a YouTube video on the side, then I could quickly write down some information that I heard that either I want to look into later or, you know, whatever. So it served two purposes, and I thought this is great. This is what I needed. And I would like color code things. There's a color code for things I need to transfer into my personal binder, or there's a color code for things that I need to transfer as a to-do for something else. So there's like, you know, color coding. So this was really, really nice. And that's why I, you know, knew that I should be doing this. And the reason why I started doing this was because at first I thought, you know, at first I thought, gosh, I don't think I have enough to write. Like I just, sometimes I just find myself not knowing what to write. But then, you know, I was putting my son to sleep and I had my Kindle Scribe with me, and, you know, Kindle Scribe, you can actually write in the notebooks. So I just quickly started writing, and I wrote like 8 pages of notes. And I thought, okay, maybe my issue is that I just don't have enough space to write, and I'm actively like limiting myself. So that's why I decided to use a separate book to kind of just like completely break free and just write to my heart's content. So that's what this is. So I can show you a little bit of like different ways that I'm using it. I'm not using it so structurally like what I've shown you before. And it differs from day to day. So this is not meant to be a pretty planner to be looking at. So I can show you. So for example, here I was experimenting with gouache, the medium, and I just got like, I think 3 or 4 colors. No, actually I lied. I got 5 colors. So the primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, and I got white and black. And I was basically starting to mix all the different colors using those 5 colors. And I just went wild. I loved it. Like you can see, it's just like, it was super fun. I mixed all of these colors myself. Like all of these colors I mixed myself, and it was just really, really fun. So I used this for that, and I wrote down notes like, how did I mix those colors? So that was one way that I used that. So this is like another way that I use it. Like as you can see, it's not very pretty, just like pen on paper. I was a little bit frustrated on like how I was spending the time after work, and of course, you know, as a business owner, self-employed person, like I don't stop working just because, you know, it's 5:30 or whatever. I still have to continue working. Work doesn't stop. And it just becomes like a mixture of like taking care of the kids, doing homeschooling, and also working. And I was a little bit frustrated because I felt like I wasn't getting enough time to myself to think, and it's just constantly like go, 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 and I don't have time to organize my thoughts and like really come up with a good plan to go about things. And I think here I was just like frustrated, and I just started writing random things, and it's just like bullet points. This is also a form of journaling. I do like doing this type of journaling too. It's just like bullet points. I like making lists. So it's just like super quick. Like the sentences might not make sense, but to me it does. So that's all that matters. And I wrote, do not sit. Like when you get home, do not sit, because as soon as I sit down, it's like I don't want to get up, and then it becomes a drag with everything, and like the attitude changes, and it's just no good. So it's like, do not sit when you go home. So these pages were empty because I was working on my collection. Okay, so this is this week, and I wanted to show you kind of how I used this. So on the left, I'm still sort of tracking my time. Like this is what I worked on. This is what I worked on. On top, I had some to-do list, and then you know, throughout the day I have some thoughts, the things that that's notable, and that I want to actually transfer into action, then I just highlight it using like a marker. It can be any color. I'm not strictly color coding here because it's just about getting the information down dirty and then make sure that I am extracting the important stuff out. So here I just wrote math for myself. I love doing math and I just like find it to be fun. It's like a game. So I thought, you know, like I heard this one homeschool mom saying like, oh, she practices math like alongside her kid. And I thought, oh yeah, I should do that. And then I need to, all of this was like, I think I was starting to kind of think about the official first year curriculum for homeschool. So I had some thoughts on that here. Just some good ideas like book report. We can do like a fun, like obviously he's not writing essays right now, but like we can make it super fun. We can do some kind of craft after reading of a book together. And he loves crafts. So I mean, like which kid doesn't like crafts? So I was thinking, okay, we have to plan for that and just like figure out what to do, what kind of craft to do, and just like writing you know, the things that kind of comes to my mind throughout the day. And this is really like how I used the back sections of my B6 Common Planner last year. And this year I'm just gonna do this in the daily planner, and it's been working out great. And I'm not being like super like crazy about like how this looks. I'm just using it to serve to release, like take out stuff from my brain to like settle it here so I don't have to think about it anymore, basically. And the sections in the front, you know, the tracker section, the monthly section, all of that I'm using for future planning purposes. So the quarterly tracker I'm using to forward plan, like large scale forward plan for the future, like for our business and, you know, our family. And for the monthly is like a little bit more detailed, like to-do list, like, okay, these are the tasks I should get done by this day, like planning for deadlines and things like that. So that's how I'm using this. And yeah, and then there's like some stuff that's like, you know, information I should have on hand, easy to reach for, then I transfer to the back section so it's easy to grab. We have 40 pages of blank pages in the back, so that's where I put that information. So yeah, this is my daily planner. I hope that was comprehensive, and I think I covered everything that I'm using this year. You know, all of my planners, all of the memory keeping stuff, all of the notebooks. I even shared my son's planner and also my academic planner that I'm using for homeschooling. And if there's anything that you guys might want to see in detail, like you can leave a comment down below and I'll see what I can do about that. Sometimes, you know, there's like a lot of personal information there, but like maybe I can like extract, you know, pages that I can show you and then do a video about it. So you guys let me know. And if there's anything regarding like what I'm using, what markers, pens and stuff like that, ask me in the comments and I'll try to get to those. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll come back with another video soon, hopefully. And I still have to do a flip of my 2024 planner. I love this thing. It's so pretty. And so I'm going to come back with a video going over this planner, do a big final flip just to close it out. I love this so much. Yeah, so that's that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.